Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to learn about life in the UK and the fascinating journey of British democracy. The story of how Britain developed its democratic system is a remarkable tale of evolution, struggle, and progress that spans nearly 2 millennia. This journey has influenced democratic movements worldwide and continues to shape our understanding of democratic governance today. Key developments in British democracy. As we explore these key developments together, you'll discover how each period contributed to the rights and freedoms that British citizens enjoy today. From the Roman foundations to modern democratic institutions, this history shows how democracy was built step by step, often through significant challenges and changes. Thank you for your interest in this important subject. Let's begin our journey through time. Early Britain, 43 AD. The Roman occupation of Britain lasted nearly 400 years, profoundly shaping the island's development. The Romans established sophisticated administrative systems, built roads, founded major cities, and introduced written law. They created a complex governance structure with local councils, curia, tax systems, and urban planning. While not democratic by modern standards, this period introduced vital concepts of organized government, citizenship, and legal frameworks that would influence British institutional development for centuries to come. The Romans also brought new technologies, architecture, and cultural practices that transformed British society. Their legacy continued long after their departure in 410 AD, leaving lasting marks on British governance and social organization. The Middle Ages, 1215. A crucial milestone was the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215. This historic document limited the absolute power of the king, establishing that even the monarch must respect the law. It introduced fundamental principles such as the right to a fair trial and protection against arbitrary imprisonment. The English Civil War, 1640. The tension between Parliament and the Crown culminated in civil war. This conflict represented a fundamental struggle over where sovereign power resided, in the monarch or in Parliament, representing the people. The English Republic, 1649. Following the execution of King Charles I, England became a republic under Oliver Cromwell, who took the title of Lord Protector in 1653. Cromwell ruled as a quasi-monarchical figure, though refusing the crown when it was offered. His rule was marked by strict Puritan values, military strength, and significant reforms in government administration. He established a new constitution called the Instrument of Government, making England a protectorate. Cromwell maintained power through his military prowess and political acumen until his death in 1658. Though his son Richard briefly succeeded him, the protectorate soon collapsed, demonstrating both the possibilities and challenges of non-monarchical government in England. This period, though controversial, proved that alternatives to traditional monarchy were possible and introduced important debates about representation, sovereignty, and the role of Parliament. The Restoration, 1660. The return of the monarchy under Charles II came with significant changes. The absolute power of pre-Civil War times was not restored, establishing a new balance between Crown and Parliament. The Habeas Corpus Act, 1679. This fundamental law strengthened protections against arbitrary imprisonment, establishing the right to challenge illegal detentions. It continues to be a pillar of British constitutional law. The Glorious Revolution, 1688. The Glorious Revolution marked a crucial turning point in British history, triggered by religious and political tensions under Catholic King James II. His attempts to promote Catholicism and assert absolute monarchy alarmed both Parliament and the Protestant establishment. When James II's Catholic son was born, threatening a Catholic succession, parliamentary leaders invited Protestant William of Orange, married to James's daughter Mary, to intervene. As William approached London with his forces, James II fled to France, effectively abdicating the throne. This led to the landmark Bill of Rights of 1689, which fundamentally transformed the monarchy. The document established that the monarch could not suspend laws, levy taxes, or maintain a standing army without Parliament's consent. Parliamentary elections must be free and Parliament should meet frequently. The monarch must be Protestant. Subjects had the right to petition the monarch without fear of retribution. No excessive bail or cruel punishments could be imposed. These changes effectively ended absolute monarchy in Britain, establishing a constitutional monarchy where the Crown's powers were limited by law and Parliament's authority was supreme. The Revolution also settled the religious question, ensuring Protestant succession and religious toleration, though with continued restrictions on Catholics. This bloodless revolution became a model for peaceful political transformation and laid the groundwork for modern British democracy. The Enlightenment, 18th century. The 18th century saw the development of fundamental ideas about individual rights, liberty, and representative government. British thinkers contributed significantly to these debates. The Great Reform Act, 1832. The Reform Act of 1832 marked the beginning of modern democratic reform in Britain. It addressed the serious problem of rotten boroughs, constituencies with very few voters that could still elect MPs, and pocket boroughs that were controlled by wealthy landowners. The Act redistributed parliamentary seats to growing industrial cities like Manchester and Birmingham, which previously had no representation. It also expanded the electorate by extending voting rights to more male property owners, though still excluding the working class. While the reform was modest by modern standards, increasing the electorate from about 366,000 to 650,000 men in England and Wales, it was a revolutionary change for its time and opened the door for future democratic reforms. The Second Reform Act, 1867. The Reform Act of 1867 significantly expanded the electorate, including more urban working-class men. It was an important step toward universal suffrage. The Representation of the People Act, 1918. This historic law granted voting rights to women over 30 and all men over 21, marking a fundamental advance in British democracy. The 20th century. The 20th century saw the consolidation of modern British democracy, with continuous reforms strengthening democratic institutions and expanding civil rights. The Equal Franchise Act, 1928. This law finally established equal voting rights between men and women, allowing women to vote at 21, just like men. The history of British democracy is a fascinating journey of evolution and progress spanning nearly 2 millennia. Each period brought its own unique contributions to the development of the democratic system we know today. We encourage everyone to explore this rich history more deeply, as understanding the past helps us better appreciate and protect our current democratic institutions. Thank you for taking the time to learn about British history. This knowledge is not just about the past, it is fundamental to understanding how modern democracies developed and continue to evolve today.